guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing with you how you can do this trendy yellow kind of smoky eye. I've been seeing this all over Instagram and I just wanted to recreate it. I think it's perfect for spring. So if you want to see how you can do this makeup look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I have you zoomed in because we are going to start with the eyes today. And I have already filled in my brows. I used the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in dark brunette. And then I primed my lids with the Tarte Shape Tape and set that with the Kat Von D powder. So the palette I am going to be using today is the Subculture palette. And the reason I chose this is for these two colors here. I think that these colors will really give us a good intense yellow pigment, which is really hard to find in a lot of palettes. So that's why I chose this one. I know that a lot of people didn't really like this palette, but I like it and I'm excited to dip back into it again today. Before we get into the really yellow shades though, I do want to use this shade here called Dawn as like a transition shade in the crease. So I'm just going to take this big fluffy brush from Real Techniques, and you'll notice there is a lot of kick up in the pan, but I find that to be the case for all Anastasia shadows, so it really doesn't bother me. I kind of just expect that when I get a palette from Anastasia, but that was a lot of people's complaints. But anyways, enough with the palette. This isn't really a palette review. I'm just using this for my look today. Next, I'm going to take Edge and do basically the same thing. Put that all in this crease area and warm it up. See, for me, these shades just blend out so nicely. Okay, next I'm going to take New Wave and put that all over the lid. So I'm going to take this flat brush here. Typically I would use this for like packing on a shimmer shade. This is actually a concealer brush, but I like it because it's big and it gets the job done quicker. I'm going to use that today to pack on this matte yellow color. Another thing that's a little bit unique about this look is that it is an all matte look. Normally I put shimmers on the lid and stick with mattes in the crease, but this look I find looks the best when the yellow shades are matte. I am going to take Edge and see how that goes kind of over top to make it a little bit more yellow. And I think that that is definitely more the look I'm going for. So I think taking a mix of those two shades is probably what you'll want to do to achieve that trendy yellow smoky eye. I never would have thought of doing a yellow smoky eye. It just never even crossed my mind. And when I saw it, I just loved how it looked. And the reason I decided to do the eyes first, I don't know if you can see because it is more of like a yellow skin tone color, but there's a ton of fallout. So that's why we're doing the eyes first. Okay, I'm going to go back into the blending brush and I think I'm going to take the slightest bit of fudge with New Wave just to make it a tiny bit of a deeper yellow in the crease, the tiniest bit. And then I'm going to take a clean brush and just make sure that that is all blended. I'm going to take some of Edge again and go over that to further diffuse that fudge color. I really don't want it looking brown. I want it looking just like a deeper golden yellow. I'm going to take Edge again. I really want this to be more yellow all throughout, especially this front portion. So I'm just going to pack that on. Yeah, that is more what I'm going for. Then clean blending brush again to blend that into the crease. Okay, and that is it for the eyeshadow. Now with this look, what I find looks really, really good is a very black winged liner. So I'm using a gel liner today. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel kind of pot eyeliner that I've been loving to use. And I'm going to use this eyeliner brush from Bdellium that I've been loving. This tiny, tiny little guy. It just allows you to be so precise. Okay, and how I like to do this is just to dip the brush right in there, and then I warm it up on the back of my hand and get the brush nice and flexible and coated and flat. The Subculture palette does not have a matte black, so whenever I have a palette that doesn't have a matte black, I've just been dipping into the Jaclyn Hill palette and using the black from that because it's very, very pigmented. So I'll take an eyeliner brush like this and then just dip into the matte black and go over the eyeliner before we clean it up with concealer, because sometimes the black eyeshadow can kind of get a little messy as well. So I'll just go over this here. And also I like to take this part and get like closer in to the tear duct. It almost creates like an ombre, like it's not as intense black here, but then it gets really intense as it goes out. Okay, then I will take a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand, like that. And I take this flat brush from Bdellium. I love this brush from Bdellium for doing this little trick. This is the square lip brush, so it's actually a lip brush, but I like it for cleaning up my eyeliner because it is so flat on the top. So I just go along here underneath the eyeliner and make sure that this is super sharp, especially once we get to the tail. Like that. And then I just take my sponge and kind of like drag down the excess to blend it. Then I will apply some mascara. I have the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. I'm not going to do anything on the lower lash line just yet because we still have to do our base makeup and concealer. I want to just get this top mascara and my false lashes on so I can kind of see what we're working with. I'm really excited for the false lashes I'm using too, because these are the false lashes that Jaclyn Hill always uses. They're the Flutter brand lashes in the style Intoxicating, I believe. They're extremely intense. I don't know how she does it. When she wears them, they don't look so intense. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to seeing her with false lashes on, but I don't know. We'll have to see how these look. So here they are right here. They're very intense. So I'm going to use my Kiss Lash Adhesive and pop these guys on, and I will show you the finished look. Okay, here are the lashes on, and I can totally see how Jaclyn wears these like every day because they're so light and comfortable. Like I literally can't believe it. I definitely think I'm going to be ordering more lashes from Flutter. I kind of had a bad experience like with some thicker, higher end lashes. I don't know, they just weren't comfortable. So I just figured they were all like that, but wow, these lashes, for how intense and thick they are, they're so comfortable. I barely even feel them on my eyes, and they're super dramatic, but you can also kind of see through them. So you can still see the eyeshadow look, which I really like. So I wanted to keep you zoomed in so that you could see that. But now I'm going to zoom you out so that we can finish off the rest of the face and complete this look. Okay, also I am wearing a top. If it ever looks like I'm naked, I'm not. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my face using the Becca Backlight priming filter. This has been my favorite, and I love how it goes with the Becca foundation. So I'm going to be using that again today. I used that in my last makeup tutorial video, I believe, and I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to try that again today on camera. So this is the foundation I was talking about. This is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. I'm using the shade Buttercup. So how I've been liking to apply it is just to do a pump and like a half right onto my sponge, and then I kind of like dab it around so that I make sure I get coverage everywhere I'm going to need it, and then I just kind of do this. I've been weird ever since getting my nails back on. I've been weird about using my fingers because the product gets stuck up under there and it's so gross. So anything to limit the amount of product I have to use on my fingers is a plus. Okay, next is concealer. I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand, and I'm going to put some right under the eyes, not actually too much. I don't really need a lot, and with this foundation being so full coverage, I don't want to like cake it up. So I'm just going to put it where I have some little problem areas and just a tiny bit. I mean, for some people that might be a lot, but for me it's a tiny bit under the eyes. Okay, now I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and dip my sponge into these two light shades to set my under eyes. Just like this. I love the brightness that this palette gives. I think it gives a nice brightness and really smooths the under eye. Whoa. And then to set the rest of my face with a powder, I'm using the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation powder, and this is in the shade Golden Ivory. And I just take a big fluffy brush and pat this all over the skin to make sure that our liquid foundation is set down, so that when we go in with bronzer and contour or blush or everything, that everything just glides on seamlessly. And I'm going to go right back into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette to bronze and contour. So I'm going to mix these two shades, and I'm using this brush from Bdellium. This is the Duo Fiber Face Shading Brush. Ooh. I love this for contour, and something about this really like matte look made me want to do just a very nice defined contour. I thought about using my Becca bronzer again that I absolutely loved, but that was more of like a shimmery bronzer, and I wanted to stick with kind of a matte theme for the face. I mean, I am going to go in with highlighter, of course, but for the rest of the look, I wanted to stick with something kind of matte on the skin at least. I am going to do a soft nose contour using this palette. I'm going to use this cool toned shade, and I normally just take two lines kind of up and down the nose, but then I connect it into the eyeshadow. I also like to take some right here, and then I also like to go along the sides of that with the light powder, kind of like this. It just cleans it up a little bit and intensifies that contour. So I'll leave that sit like that for just a little bit and do Glossier Boy Brow in black. I've been liking to use the black shade to really like accentuate the actual brow hairs. It doesn't make my brow really look black since I fill it in with a brown pencil, but it makes the hairs stand out a little bit more, which I like. Okay, next on to blush. That's the one thing I forgot. I knew I was forgetting something. Hold on. I'm going to use my little NARS Orgasm blush that I got for my birthday gift from Ulta. I really liked how this looked and held up. And I think this color with the yellow just looks really pretty because it's like very pink, very spring-like, so it just goes with the look. Actually, speaking of my birthday, today I am kind of like celebrating my birthday because my birthday is on Monday. It's the 16th. So my mom and I are going shopping, and then Nick is taking me out to dinner. So I'm super excited for that. I love how blush just like brings a life back to the face. So I'm going to blend out this nose contour a little bit with my big fluffy brush and just make sure that that's not too harsh. And then let's finish off the lower lash line. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, but I'm going to dip back into the Subculture palette and just take this shade New Wave. And then I'm going to take Edge and go right under that. And then I'll take my big, no, not my big, my fluffy brush and just make sure that is all blended. Then we can do lower lash mascara. Whenever I do lower lash mascara, I take a brush and just like go over the lashes to knock off any of the extra mascara that could transfer. Then I'm going to set the face with a setting spray, but I'm going to do my little trick where I spray the sponge and then push onto the skin because I don't want my eye makeup to like transfer down to my lower lash line like I was talking about. So this is the little trick I do, and this is the Glossier Rose Water Spray. It's very rosy, and if you spray it too much, like near your eyes, at least for me, I have sensitive eyes, it's kind of intense because of the fragrance, so it's another reason I like to use it this way. Then for highlight, I'm going to go into the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm going to use this shade here, which is called Summer. This is my favorite highlight of all time, and I just want to use it today for my birthday celebration. The nose and Cupid's bow. And then last step is lips, and I'm going to keep it pretty simple so that the eyes are the focus. I'm just going to line them with the NYX lip liner in Natural and pop on a clear gloss. So the clear gloss I'm going to use is, of course, the Glossier lip gloss. This is my favorite lip gloss. Super, super wet looking, and it's not sticky. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!